What a huge series win over the New York Yankees in New York over the weekend. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 games to win that series against one of the best teams in Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees, one of the best sports franchises in all of professional sports. So that was amazing to see. Now, there was no video here on Phillies Daily by me over the weekend. I forgot to mention on Thursday that I was going to be out of town over the weekend, wouldn't have the time or space to be able to upload those videos. But we are back here on Monday talking about a big series win by the Phillies. They start a 3-game series tonight in Chicago to take on the White Sox. The White Sox are one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball, so hopefully the Phillies can just carry this momentum that they have right now after that huge series win over the Yankees right into this White Sox series. Win another series, maybe even sweep them, going into a very tough series back at home against the Detroit Tigers after this road trip is over. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound tonight. He's having an incredible year for the Phillies. Hopefully he can just keep that going and the Phillies start off this 3-game series on the right foot. Welcome into Phillies Daily. Everyone, I'm your host, Mike Hennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Not only did the Phillies win 2 out of 3 games, first of all, they won the first 2 games of this series, and they really won them pretty convincingly against the Yankees. In the first game, their offense had 14 hits and 12 runs. The second game, the offense had 13 hits and 9 runs. Now, unfortunately, they did drop yesterday's ball game on Sunday with Zack Wheeler on the mound. They only had 5 hits and 3 runs in that loss to the Yankees. Didn't really have that many opportunities offensively in the loss. They did have 3 solo home runs. Unfortunate nobody was on base for them because they could have been a little bit better. It could have been a win. It was a close game. They lost by 1 run. So, unfortunate stuff there on Sunday, but the Phillies did take 2 out of 3, got another series win, and moving on with the right foot. Ranger Suarez, he pitched pretty well in Game 2. Taijuan Walker pitched Game 1, kept the Phillies in the game. He did enough to help them win that ball game. And like I said, they won pretty convincingly in that ball game with those 12 runs. Zack Wheeler, I did mention, was on the mound yesterday, and it was just another kind of tough performance out of Zack Wheeler. He's obviously one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the National League. But he has run into some trouble lately in his last 3 starts for the Phillies, including yesterday's ball game against the New York Yankees. It's a little too early, or might be a little too crazy to say he's losing ground in the National League Cy Young race, but with these past 3 starts, he has been struggling here. He hasn't had his best stuff, his A-plus stuff. So all it takes is just a few games or even just one bad game to really knock you out of that Cy Young running. Luckily for Zack Wheeler, he does have very good numbers still overall, and these last 3 starts haven't been horrible, just not his best stuff, as I said. Yesterday, he went 5 2/3 innings in that loss. He allowed 5 hits, 2 walks, which is not horrible, but still not good. You don't want to give up really any walks in a ball game. That's definitely not more than just 1. He also, notably and alarmingly, had 3 hit by pitches. So 2 walks, 3 hit by pitches. That's 5 free bases right there that the Yankees had. He allowed 4 earned runs in those 5 2/3 innings. He did have 8 strikeouts. He's a strikeout pitcher, so that's pretty normal by him. But he did pick up the loss as well. And it was really all came in that 4th inning against the Yankees. He allowed a single and then hit 2 straight batters right after that single to load the bases there in the 4th inning. And then all of a sudden, he allowed a game-tying 2 RBI double, all to start that 4th inning. The Phillies were winning 2-0 at the time. It was 2-2 after that. And then he got a couple outs there. He allowed 1 more hit and 2 more runs in that 4th inning. And the Yankees took a 4-2 lead going into the top of the 5th inning. The Phillies were now trailing. And as I said, he allowed those 4 runs all in the 4th inning. Most of the hits he allowed also in that 4th inning. 2 out of the 3 hit by pitches in that 4th inning. So just a tough inning, tough outing again by Zack Wheeler. He hasn't had his best stuff in his last 3 starts, as I said, since that complete game he threw back on July 6th. That was an incredible performance by Zack Wheeler. But since then, just not his great stuff. He hasn't gone more than 6 innings in any of these 3 starts. And he's also 0-1 in those 3 starts with 18 hits allowed, 3 walks allowed, 5 hit by pitches, including those 3 yesterday, 10 earned runs in those 3 starts, and that all came in 17 2/3 innings between his last 3 starts. His ERA after that July 6th complete game was at 2.17, and now after these last couple starts, he is now sitting at 2.56 after yesterday's loss to the Yankees. He is now still, as I said, still having an incredible season, incredible numbers for Zach Wheeler. He's the Phillies ace, one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's 9-4 with a 2.56 ERA through 21 starts in 2025. And really the main competition for the National League Cy Young, yeah, I mean, you can throw like Christopher Sanchez and guys like that in there as well, but it's really between Zach Wheeler and Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Paul Skeens having an incredible season. He's 6-8, but that's because he's on a bad Pirates team. He has a 1.83 ERA, though, so a lot better than Zach Wheeler's right now through 22 starts. Zach Wheeler still does have Skeens beat in a few categories there, has some better numbers than Skeens, but if he continues to have a couple more struggles, mishaps here, Zach Wheeler, as the season progresses and gets closer to the end, with Paul Skeens' name, his dominance, and all the hype surrounding him, just will be tough to try to beat him out for the Cy Young, but we'll see. I have all in the faith in the world of Zach Wheeler bouncing back, getting out of this little pitching slump that he's in recently, and right back to his dominance, similar to that complete game back a few weeks ago. Somebody that has been having success recently is the rookie Otto Kemp. He has been just getting things done for the Phillies, and it's really impressive because he's a guy that wasn't really a top prospect. He wasn't even drafted coming into Major League Baseball, or professional baseball, I should say, into the minor leagues. And Otto Kemp, ever since Bryce Harper was hurt, they brought up Otto Kemp because he was tearing it up there in the minor leagues, and fans wanted him up just because of that production, and the offense was kind of slumping there at the time for the Phillies. Otto Kemp has provided a spark to the team, and he has a lot of versatility, can play multiple positions in the field, and obviously get things done at the plate. Yesterday's loss, Otto Kemp he went 2 for 4. He had 2 home runs, 2 of those 3 Phillies solo home runs by Otto Kemp, the rookie, in the loss. Unfortunately, it was a loss for the Phillies, but he himself had a great day at the plate with those 2 home runs. It was his first career multi-hit game at the Major League level. He's now batting .250 with 6 doubles, 4 home runs, 14 RBIs in 35 games. He has 6 multi-hit games so far at the Major League level. He's still just 25 years old, so he's just a young kid still. Has a lot of developing to still go, but the fact that he's just having this much success right now early on in his Major League career is very exciting and something that the Phillies should be excited about for the future. Otto Kemp, as I said, very versatile in the field. He's had games he's played first base, third base, and left field for the Phillies. So always great when a player can show his versatility. You can plug him in pretty much anywhere. And when you're hitting, obviously, they're going to find a spot for you in the lineup because when you hit, that's really the name of the game in baseball at the Major League level. Now, we are just days away from the July 31st trade deadline. Today is July 28th. July 31st, obviously just a couple days away. And the Phillies are going to be players. We know that. They're trying to be. They need to upgrade the bullpen. They could upgrade the outfield with some bats. They've even had some talks about the third baseman, Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks recently, reportedly rumored there. So we'll see what the Phillies are doing. A lot of rumors, but a guy that they could look into who's having a pretty solid season. Now, he did miss some time early on, is Baltimore Orioles veteran reliever Andrew Kridge. He's 35 years old. He's a right-handed reliever. He was an all-star back in 2021, his only all-star appearance, all-star selection, back when he was still with the Tampa Bay Rays. As I said, he did miss the beginning of 2025. He had a knee injury. I think he had minor knee surgery, but he's been back since May 21st, was his first appearance with the Orioles in 2025. Now, his numbers are a little higher than they should be maybe, and that's mostly because of his month of June wasn't perfect, and more specifically, one appearance back on June 18th. Kridge allowed 4 earned runs in 1 inning, and as a reliever who missed some time, obviously when you allow 4 earned runs in just 1 inning, your ERA is going to spike, and it's going to be tough to get it down until you really get a lot more innings in you. He's had a very good July overall so far in 2025 with the Orioles. He's allowed just 6 hits, 1 walk, and 3 earned runs with 12 strikeouts in 12 1/3 innings this month of July. He has a 3.68 ERA overall in 2025 with 7 holds and 30 strikeouts in 29 1/3 innings. So still a lot less innings than a lot of other guys, but that's because he didn't pitch until May 21st with that knee injury to start the season. Last year, very good year by Kridge. He had a 2.80 ERA with 37 holds. That's an incredible number right there. 37 holds is great stuff. In 74 appearances with the St. Louis Cardinals in 2024. He's mostly a slider and sinker pitcher. He sits around in the mid-90s-ish, so not that overpowering, but he does get the job done. He can get some strikeouts, and obviously he is a setup kind of guy with those holds to help get into a save situation for his team, for his bullpen, and that's what the Phillies need, is a late inning, high leverage reliever. And Andrew Kridge is a veteran. He's had success overall in his career, and he could come in here and help the Phillies try to win a championship. Now, he does have a $9 million club option in 2026, so there is some team control there if the Phillies were to choose that and trade for him. The Orioles, very underperforming season in 2025 after a very good season last year in 2024. They have a losing record. They're last in the American League East. They've already traded former Philly Gregory Soto, the left-handed reliever that the Phillies traded to them last year at the deadline. They already traded Gregory Soto to the New York Mets the other day. So they are open for business, and they have a lot of players that are on the rumor mill that a lot of teams are interested in. And a guy like Andrew Kridge could be an underrated move, but a very good move at the least for a team like the Phillies that need that high leverage reliever. A veteran presence is even better, who's had success, a track record of success into the playoffs and trying to win a World Series championship. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Henley. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Again, sorry for no videos over the weekend, but we are back to our normal schedule, and we are here ready to see what the Phillies do at the trade deadline and then move on into the playoff season and trying to win a championship. Again, thank you guys for watching, and as always, go Phils.